Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at PASR. I want to introduce Jerry Mitchell. He's here from the Attorney General's office. And Mr. Mitchell is going to be discussing scams against seniors and identity theft. So thank you for joining us today.
Hey, everyone out there. Thank you for coming on and listening to this presentation. It's always an honor to come out and talk to different groups and different organizations about identity theft and basically how it affects us all. She's right. My name is Jerry Mitchell. I'm an outreach specialist at the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General here in the central Pennsylvania. My counties basically start from roughly Montour, coming down to Lancaster, that direction. And if you go in the other direction, over to Fulton County, embodying roughly 2.2 million people. So the presentations that I talk about will bring our office out to the community, the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General, being the leading law enforcement agency in the state, pretty much like the state's version of the FBI. We have jurisdiction over the entire state. And our role, plain and simple, when it comes to the protection of everyone, is to protect the innocent and punish the guilty. And part of the protection that we're going to be dealing with today is an identity theft presentation and how we can help reduce our risk to something that's pretty much run a lot in society right now. And you'll notice I don't say prevention, I say reduce our risk. Because the real reality of it is at one point in time, we're all going to get hit with identity theft. Whether it's for a penny or whether it could be $10, $12, $50,000 or more. At one point in time, we are all going to get hit or tested. These thieves and these individuals who execute identity theft, they have no rules. Or I take that back. They got one rule: don't get caught. That's the only rule they have. They are malicious. They are evil. These people don't care. They see none of us as victims. They see all of us as customers. You get hit with identity theft through one of their tactics, you are just a customer. Whether it's through outright trickery of them talking you into giving them your identity, or if you sit back and have your accounts hacked, in either one. So when we talk about identity theft here, and we talk about a world right now where we have so much connectivity and so many location services that allow people or allow individuals and corporations to know where we're at almost at any given time. If we got our phone on us, it's easy for somebody to know okay, you were here, you were there. So that's one of the elements in a world of shared information. And in this shared information world, as you can see here, we live in this world now where satellites pretty much dominate, okay, our global connectivity. You take a look at this, and you take a look at this satellite right here, and this image to the lower right. There's over 21,000 satellites orbiting the Earth. Anywhere from 99 miles up to over just around 200,000 miles out. Satellites that orbit our Earth, that give us information and feedback on basically services that we need, to telling us what stars are out there in the world, in the universe, and how close they are to Earth. When it comes to the connectivity of all of us, and this first image up here, this type of connectivity is what thieves are after. The type of identity theft that these folks are utilizing today in this age, it gets a lot more harrowing because these folks know how to engage in basically capture information, which ultimately what you're after. So let's talk about identity theft and its definition. Identity theft occurs when an unauthorized party uses your personal information, your name, address, social security number, credit card, bank account information, or more, passwords, IP address. I mean, there's so much more I could go into with that, but basically they use it in order to commit fraud and other criminal acts. My background is information system management with the concentration in application development. That's what I went to college for. As someone who has been in this industry, and I'm showing my age here, since Windows 95, Yeah, it's been that long. As someone who's been in this industry that long, I can tell you right now, everybody, when they say identity theft, they just leave it at a blanket statement, but we shouldn't. There's multiple tiers to identity theft. I'm just going to go over some right here and paraphrase what you see. Financial identity theft, that's what's most common. The bottom line is money. They're money, money, money. Thieves are after money and how they can get your information. You get that. Tax identity theft, when somebody basically puts a refund or gets a tax refund in your name. We are in the middle of tax season right now. Something like that could easily happen. Medical identity theft may use our information to get medical services or devices. Sometimes we assist in that, unfortunately. What I mean by that is simple. Sometimes we can sit back and, oh, I want to help a person out, help a friend out, help a colleague out, a relative, and we may honestly go out and get medical services or get something that is in our name, but we get it for them. We're committing fraud if we do that. We go out and we get pills. We go out and we get a medical device. We go out and we allow them to use medical services in our name. That is medical fraud. Employment identity theft. They may use our information to get through a key card, to get through a door, or get through some sort of a security system. I usually keep my badge with me, but I think it's in the other room. Somebody could easily clone our badge or something like that, basically to get access or to commit or to get past the background check, I should say. Child identity theft. That occurs when someone, a toddler, their information is stolen out of a hospital, and at that point, there's usually a system in place, criminal system in the hospital in place. It can involve 1, 2, 3, or more people. They get their information. The minute the child is assigned a social security number, they take that number, they give it to an assailant, unscrupulous individual, a thief. They take that and they start charging in that kid's name, and then having the postal information of that, like the credit card receipts and all that stuff. They have that stuff sent to a PO box. Senior identity theft, where seniors may be more susceptible to crimes and scams. Those are identity theft fraudsters that target specifically seniors only. I have a problem with that because I see so many seniors who are really tough, but then I see some seniors who don't see the machinations coming. But so many fall victim to this, unfortunately. But seniors are from the generation of Walter Cronkite. They see this kind of stuff happening, and you all understand, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't feel right. And that's one of the reasons they target you. Before I go any further, I just want to make a statement out here regarding our seniors. You didn't grow up in this tech world of devices. You grew up in the world of a checkbook and cash. You grew up in a world of generations governed by people like Eisenhower, Jack Kennedy, Roosevelt, and my favorite, Harry S. Truman. Where somebody's word in their handshake meant something. I give them a word, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. And if they didn't do it, then you put out there, hey, the word is no good. You grew up in that kind of a generation. These thieves understand the trusting nature that you have because you grew up in an era where trust was much more foundational than it is nowadays, unfortunately. And that's what they're basically using against you. They're using you against you, your own trust factors. That's one of the reasons we're having this presentation. The Office of Attorney General is a fluid office. Fluid, it constantly flows forward, not backwards or sideways. We're constantly looking at things and seeing how things can happen in society in order to protect people more fully. Our job is to protect and project so that we can protect better. We have to keep projecting out. Where could this go? Which direction could this go? How could it get there? What kind of tactics, what kind of vehicles, electronic vehicles are they going to use? That's the reason why we're having this presentation today. And a large reason why, I should say. Few more here are state identity theft. This occurs when fraudsters use personal information of a deceased person to steal money or open an account. Even if somebody's resting in the grave, they will sit back and they will still call families, call employers pretending to be people of importance or a family member in order to get their information. Calling insurance companies. I know this all too well. A friend of mine, Calvin, died in 2019, and his family went through it for months. People calling his job, HR, pretending to be them in order to get information about Calvin. Criminal identity theft, all of it's criminal, but when a criminal uses this, your identity, especially when they're pulled over for a DUI, arrested or something like that, that's where it takes hold there. Synthetic identity theft, when they blend real identities with fraud information, basically they combine the truth with lies. Yes, I'm Jerry Mitchell. Yes, I live in Harrisburg, but they changed the street address. That's synthetic identity theft. On the streets of Queens, you can get synthetic identity cards, driver's license, credit cards. The last time I checked, they were roughly about $300 a piece. The more you get, the cheaper it gets. These people are in business. When you talk about identity thieves or identity thieves, look at this whole thing as a business. These people are in business. Once you start to look at it as a business, the simplicity of it starts to play out. They're in business to get your money. And not just your money, your numbers. Numbers lead to money. Numbers, social security numbers, that's the mother of all those. Routing numbers, driver's license numbers, account numbers. These numbers uniquely identify us. They are what we call in the digital world as a primary key. Here's an example of one. You go to Kohl's or something like that, and you see something you want to charge. You see a nice outfit, or you see something, hey, I want this. I want to put this on my Kohl's card. You go up to the register. Oh, I don't have my Kohl's card with me. No problem. What's your phone number? They ask you for your phone number. You know why? Your phone number is included in your record, and that will identify you and identify your account number. Primary key. Information leads to money, or an individual, and then money. So that's how that plays out. Information leads to money. Again, like I said, these folks are very meticulous. They're very acute in what they're doing. They're smart, they're patient, and they research. They study. The people above them who, hey, I need you all to do this, this, and this, and this is how I need you to do it. They research and they study how to do this stuff. How they can get our information, I'm just going to put all these up here at one time. We allow ourselves to be an easy target. Maybe we leave information or documents out in the open. That should never happen. I like to think everyone has a trash can or some sort of you put things in and you basically slice it up and make sure you have something that takes your information or takes your documents and shredder. That's the word I'm looking for. Make sure you have a shredder. Please do not just throw away documents anyway, especially if they have information on them. Once it leaves your house, it becomes public domain outside your home. Stolen from you or from a source of your information. What has more information on it nowadays than this device right here? Our standard cell phone. Our cell phones have so much information on it. This could easily be compromised if someone finds it out there. We want to make sure our digital documents, our digital profiles on these things are in our person. We know where they're at. And I think that's pretty much easy enough to say. In the realm of when's the last time you left your cell phone someplace? You realize you left it at a restaurant or left it at a hotel or left it at home. What did you do when you realized you left your phone behind? You hit the brakes, you made a U-turn, and you hightailed it back there to go get it. That's what happens when we leave that's how important what happens when we leave our devices out there. And we could easily fall trickery to a scam. Last year, I'm on vacation in Cabo. I get a phone call. A friend of mine, her brother was online, and he got one of these Facebook postings of Bed Bath & Beyond going out of business. And Bed Bath & Beyond is going out of business, and they're sitting here saying on this posting that they have a 7-piece patio set on sale, closeout, blowout deal. 7-piece patio set, $29.99. Does that sound believable? A 7-piece patio set for $29.99. And what did he do? He bought it. He said, hey, I bought it. Did he receive the patio set? What do you think? The answer to that is no. Obviously, no, he did not receive it. But he gave somebody his credit card number out there. So now he was worried, he was nervous, and they were calling me, and I'm on vacation. In this capacity, in this job, you're never really off duty. And I don't mind fielding a phone call here or there, even on vacation. So what did I do? I told him close the credit card immediately. Close that credit card, open up a new one. You need a new number, new this, new that, but destroy that credit card, close that account immediately. Now you might only be thinking $29.99. Well, that's not a lot. It was $30. He was out of $30. Is he ever going to get that back? No. Just being honest about it. You might only be thinking $30. Take $29.99 and rounding it up to $30. Take $30, and let's say they did this to 100,000 people in a month. You have $3 million. So you got $3 million. Now let's say you did that for a year. How much do you got? You got what? 3 million times 12, $36 million. Now do you understand just how this is a business? The people who execute these kind of frauds and crimes of identity theft, and what our office tells folks to do about it, and we're going to get into what you do about this stuff if you find yourself a victim. The people who execute this stuff are, in so many cases, they're multimillionaires. Whether they got their own private jet or they're flying first class nonstop, or their kids go to the best schools, they drive Lamborghinis, they drive Lincoln town car, Lincoln SUVs. They just live the high life. The Riviera, you name it, they just live it up. This is the kind of life these people have, and they don't care about the people who they defraud. And when it comes to the new age of this stuff, the world of AI and ChatGPT, this is a new frontier for so many people, and that includes criminals. The world of AI and ChatGPT, where now you have machine language that can assist us and help us out and tell us the answers that would have taken us hours, weeks to even come up with. Now it can come up in 2 to 3 seconds. Complete intellectual responses, intuitive responses. This is the Jetsons that has come to life. What we were all predicting, it is now here. AI and ChatGPT are machine languages that are designed to assist us and learn all that is learnable and keep going with it. And again, the kind of responses that we get, the intuitive responses, and they only get even more intuitive as time goes on. And they're designed to do that. Everybody is learning this frontier, and that includes criminals as well. Along with AI and ChatGPT, another element is coming along, and that's going to be the element of avatars. Folks, within the next 12 to 14 months, the world's going to flip over with this technology. AI, ChatGPT, we're just going to be saying AI or AGI, artificial general intelligence, in our everyday general walk of life. AGI is going to be in everything. It's going to be in the medical field. It's going to be in the transportation. It's going to be even in traffic control, lights, things of that nature, stoplights, things of that nature. It's going to be in travel. It's going to be in the retail industry, the tech industry, the educational industry. This kind of technology is going to be in everything within the next 12, 14 months tops. It's already getting there. Having said that, criminal manipulation, again, it has no limits. And deep frauds and supercharged scams using voice clones, where someone can basically call you up now and sound and use the voice of your loved one, of our loved ones, again, to basically defraud us, ask us for money, ask us for a password, ask us for a location. We have got to be on the lookout for things like this, where someone can call us up and using our FaceTimes and basically look like our loved one, look like our husbands, our wives, our spouses, our kids, and basically with the same voice. This is why when you see a lot of phone calls you get nowadays, we should never answer these. If you don't know it, the number, just let it go to voicemail. Well, that's one of the best recommendations we can give you. 4 words that they get from you, 4 words, and they can turn that into a 2-minute conversation. Hi, my name is Jerry. And I can tell you right now, they can turn that into a 4-minute conversation. And again, this is the dangers of the world of this kind of technology being in the hands of. When it comes to technology, and here are some examples of how people, they thought a loved one help, it was an AI scam. That one's out of DC area, which is 4 out of 1,000. The last one, $11,000. For all the ones about AI voice scams, after his family lost $1,000. Yeah. And again, having mom, these bad men have me, scammers, her daughter's voice, and that was $11,000. So what can we do about it? Do we recommend? Okay. How to tell if the call is real or trust the voice? Supposedly to verify this, use a phone number you know is theirs. If you can't reach your loved one, try to contact them through another family member or their friends. Scammers ask you to pay or send money and wait money back. If the caller says to wire money, sending cryptocurrency, they still need someone and give them, the card numbers and pins. The loved ones in jail. This is the courthouse. This is so and so in the courthouse. If you can help expedite that within the next couple of hours. When you go to the bank, money they may be. Just tell them it's for home improvement. Once you're home, just let us know. We'll stay on the phone with you. We'll make sure you're okay. We'll make sure you're safe. Okay, our courier is there. Shows up. It looks like some young kid from the courthouse. Cash. They disappear. And again, marketplace and being careful on this. Should also do in situation. It's a really good idea to have a passcode between us, between family. You got a family for money, family member who's in trouble. They're basically in a. We recommend do not text each other what the passphrase is. Let them know, hey, listen, if something ever happens, something ever goes down, you're ever in need of money, anything like that, you ask them, okay, where did we have a cookout in 2018 or something? Where was the family cookout? Just have some sort of a passcode between that only you and the family members would know. Change the. I would recommend at least once a month, change that passcode up. Something that you all would know, that you all would remember. That is a have versus, not having any kind of a system in place. So something like this can happen. You find yourself out of thousands. Facebook Marketplace, our office, along with throughout the country, we're seeing a lot of scams out there. You can see how percentages have gone up over the years. 184% in scams and frauds on Facebook Marketplace, tax, IRS app, and PayPal. I get asked a lot of questions about PayPal. PayPal system, they're using WEP and WEP2 as a security system for forever. Those two have gone, and they basically morphed into a new security system for web. Just dwelling on Facebook here, Facebook Marketplace, please be very careful in Facebook Marketplace. There's something out there you want to buy. Facebook, law enforcement all over the country and in our 5 U.S. territories, and then I'm just going to stay U.S. confined here. Facilities of scam platforms can happen on defraud, selling you something to defraud on the buyer side. Hey, you know, I overpaid or something like that. I gave you too much money up front. Oh, for dollars, I sent you $50. Could you just send me back? It's usually done on a much higher scale. And by the time $30, you find out the fraudulent there. So be very careful. Just to paraphrase the other two responses, fast payment. If you get a response immediately after posting an item, follow on Facebook Marketplace and to see if you get any other offers. Hey, I like it. Hey, I want to buy it. I want to buy it now. And they want to act like we need potential buyers. Do you live near high school? Hey, do you live in a high rise? Do you live in a apartment? Do you live in a house? Do you live over on the east side or west side? They're trying to pinpoint. What they're basically at on a messenger platform only, platform, because they're trying to get you to pay quickly on it. Once you give them your phone number, oh yeah, and they say, oh yeah, could you text me? I'll be here. I'll be now. Once you text them, now they have your number, address. Put it right into Google, and then see what that email address is coming from, what area. Just a few other tips about Facebook Marketplace. Again, send the item before payment is received. And that's never a good idea. Prospective buyer might produce a fraudulent receipt claiming a payment has been made and ask for the merchandise to be sent right away. Conversely, a legit seller won't ask a buyer to pay in advance if it sounds too good to be true. Someone is out on Facebook Marketplace selling a 1986 Stingray Miami Vice Corvette for $4,000 in mint condition. Boy, I love a car like that in perfect condition. And it's got very low miles. They say it's only got 30,000 miles on it, and they're selling it for $4,000. Does that sound legit? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Folks, if something sounds too good to be true, you may think, oh, I'm getting a deal. I'm getting a bargain. Wow, I'm getting ready to get this at a super ridiculous price. Please don't. Fraud like this can happen and take place in an instant, and your money is gone. Immediate interest right here. A buyer wants to send you a text to arrange an immediate pickup item. That's an attempt to get your phone number, at which point the scammer could register quickly for a Google voice number, which will trigger a verification code and send it to your phone. The scammer will ask to send the code just to verify you are a real person in reality. That code will unlock a Google voice number, which can help the scammer to perpetuate more scams, including steal your identity. We have to be very careful with this stuff. Also, fake rental properties. This stuff runs rampant online. Fake rental properties, please be very careful when it comes to this. hey, I'm going to rent, somebody's selling, you know, they're renting out this beachfront property. It's down along the coast. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to put down the down payment. I'm going to be down there for a couple of weeks. I'm going to give them $5,000. It's, I got a great price. You get down there, the property is not there, or it is someone else already living there. Two instances that's happened where a couple went down, they put down money to invest in the restoration of the property in Florida. And they put down $11,000 in restoration. The property it was beachfront property down there at that time was roughly about $970,000. Okay, but if you invest in a restoration, that's when a fixer-upper. You fix it up, you invest in fixing it up, it'll sell for like $7 to $10 million. So $11,000 could have gotten you a nice yield of a return. They did that. They got a receipt saying thanks for your investment, property, location, and that was it. They got an email receipt. They didn't say much. They flew down there to take a look at the property. They went to the exact location where it said it was at. There was nothing there but marsh and swampland and alligators. You can go out in that water, but I'm pretty sure you will never come back out. Overpayments, we just talked about this. The $20. Hey, I'm sending you it's an item for $20. I send you 50. Oh, I sent you too much. You send me back to 30. That's not a problem until once again you try to cash the check or you try to have that digital transaction go through. It doesn't happen. To the folks out there, I'm just going to take a breather for a second and slow down before I go to the next screen. Again, these elements and more, what we're about to go over, which I consider the mother lode in a few minutes, what we're about to go over and what we have gone over, these type of scams and more, romance scams, where people pretend to be, hey, I'm so-and-so, I love you, and I think you're great. You meet them online. Like the old song goes, love is in the air. And so many folks, you know, they meet people online nowadays. A lot of relationships work, a lot of fraud. A buddy of mine, he met his girlfriend online. Again, he's retired and they've been together now 5 years. And again, it's just one of those deals where theirs is working, but we have to be very careful out here because individuals will try to take advantage of you very quickly. It's all about a bottom line dollar, how much they can get. And again, men and women are both victims of this. People who are, and a lady who I met over in Shady Maple, down in the Lebanon area. She lost $2,000, not too far from her. A gentleman, he met a woman online, he lost $24,000. These type of scams happen, unfortunately, a lot. Scammers will target any and everyone. Ed and Jocelyn here look like Brad and Angelina before the divorce. Ed and Jocelyn love long walking on the beach, long nights out, dinner and dancing. Who doesn't love that? You know, I love doing those things when it's warm out. And you know, they weren't even thinking about identity theft because they were the thieves. This is what happens when you got a mugshot. Okay. Right out of the Philadelphia area, and I might butcher this a little bit, but the Bala Cynwyd area, right outside Philly, there's a great cheesesteak place there. Not that that has anything to do with anything, but I'm just throwing it out there. These two that's a high-end area. If you're out in that neck of the woods, the Bala Cynwyd area is a very high-end area to live in. And multi-million-dollar area, and they had friends out in that area. Go by their house, visit their friends, barbecues, watch Philly games, Eagle games, Flyer games, you name it, Sixer games. While they were over there, they took documents, took pictures of documents they had laying around, credit cards, and they stole and got services of over $116,000 of people who they knew. Folks, these are the kind of people we're talking about. Once again, you can take a look at it. Dining and dancing all night. Here they are. The picture of love, the picture of niceness, I would call it. And here they are. mugshot and fingerprinting. She got 5 years, he got 4. She could have cared less, went into court and just made a spectacle of herself. He was more remorseful, started to make arrangements of restitutions to pay back the victims, court system, you name it. That's why he got a year less. She got out of jail, went out to New Mexico, got right back into trouble, went right back to jail. This happens. Folks, we're getting into the next phase of this, and this is a major phase for all of us. Before we go any further, Samantha, how much time do we have? I want to make sure I don't blow it.
You're good to go as long as you need to go.
Thank you. That's all I need to know. All right, now I'll turn on the gas now, so to speak. Folks, our vehicles are now nothing more than our phones on wheels. The technology that is inside our vehicles are insane nowadays. The things that we can do. I think we will all agree with that. And there's a lot of cool creature features that are out there in our vehicles nowadays that allow us, once again, to turn the vehicles on and off, that allow us to see where our vehicle's at location. And if you got some vehicles, your vehicle will start up and drive to you. That is amazing what our vehicles can do nowadays. The reach of Wi-Fi communication with our vehicles. This is where we're going now with this discussion, and being careful with our vehicles so that they are not hacked and giving hackers a free ride. Apps that our vehicles can now download, third-party apps, personal data, you name it, vehicle to vehicle or V2V connectivity. Corvettes are famous for that, the new type of Corvettes. Here's where we're going with this, with our next screen here. When we have vehicles out here that can do this much, we have to make sure that we sanitize our vehicles so that our vehicles do not give strangers information. Car rentals especially. In 2021, between August and November, I was down in Florida and I rented vehicles, I rented like 5, each time I'm down there, I was down there 5 times. I had to rent vehicles 5 times. Several times when I got in those vehicles, information from the previous individual was in there on that system. We have to be very careful when we rent cars, folks, once we return those vehicles, to sanitize those vehicles before we turn them in. These individuals who are out here, who we get our cars from, who rental agencies, they are gonna, once you return that car, they're gonna look it over, any damage. And I've seen them do this so many times, and I'll talk to one guy. Any damage? Is the tank filled up? Okay. Inside, is the clean? Any damage on the inside? Okay. They clean it up and they get it ready for the next customer. They are not sanitizing or wiping clean the system that inside there, the infotainment system, where we did our text messaging, where we did our emails, our voicemails. They're not doing that. Please be careful when you rent cars before you return it to sanitize that system. I've been asked this enough times. I'm going to address it up front with all of you. I do not have a wholesale instructional procedures for each vehicle. Each vehicle has its own personality as far as how you're going to sanitize it. Generally, you go inside of settings and you go inside of information or content, and you go into, and you have to clear the content out that way. That's one of the things, that's the earliest information I can give you on it. I cannot give you a specific blow-by-blow instructional platform for each vehicle, because each vehicle is different. Each manufacturer is different, but they all have that limited, in each case, you're gonna do it in setting. That right there is standard. When we trade in our vehicles, the same thing. Have you bought a new car yet recently? With your old vehicle, what did you do with the information? And especially if you got a 2015 or newer, 2020 or new, oh, absolutely. Now, again, it's kind of like when you get a new phone and, okay, I need to transfer my contacts, my pictures, my notes. I need to transfer my music over to the new phone. Okay, you've done all that. Okay, what do you do with this one now? What about the information that's still on here? Because now it's on 2 devices. Well, I need to go inside here, go into settings, erase all content. You need to do that with vehicles as well. Folks, please do not trade in your vehicles without deleting these messages and this information that's in there. This is not an arena where, well, I'm trading it into the dealership. They're the dealership. I can trust them. They should be able to handle this. We don't walk around with that kind of a trust factor anymore. Can't afford to. When it comes to information, make sure you delete that information out of that vehicle before you trade it in. Car rentals especially, because that is nothing but a process center where they're just moving cars in and out, moving cars in and out. You rent that car, somebody else has had that car before you, they will have it out to you. They will rent that car out 100 times or more within a couple of months. So please make sure we do that. Again, just some things or supplemental material I want to put out there before we go any further. New V2V communication or vehicle-to-vehicle communication could give hackers a free ride. Learn what system communication capabilities that your vehicle has. I know when we get our vehicles now, there's usually a book about this thick when it comes to our vehicles. Wow, I got all this information and all I want to do is just do the basics with it. But our vehicles have much more capabilities now than they've ever had. Ask your manufacturer how to disable certain system communications when not in use. Most vehicles have Wi-Fi. Is that Wi-Fi still active after we turn that vehicle off? When updates happen, see what toggles have been activated, reactivated, or deactivated. Are the same things I'm used to using, are those things still in place? Folks, I know when I'm talking about right now, I may say, oh, well, that takes time. That takes, a little bit of looking into. Picture it as an investment, okay? So the investment side of this, I'm going to invest 5 to 10 minutes into making sure that these systems are okay. I don't have to do this every day, but it's a good idea if I do it every now and then, invest 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. What would you rather lose, 5 or 10 minutes or $5,000 or $10,000? Just weigh it out that way. If I don't do this, I always look at it as an investment. Hey, if I don't do this, I could be out of $5,000 or $10,000 or more. That's why we take a look at our systems and we call manufacturers. Hey, I know my vehicle has Wi-Fi, but does that Wi-Fi turn off when my vehicle turns off? Do I necessarily need that Wi-Fi on all the time? That's why we contact manufacturers, folks. Our devices that are out here, especially when we start to, I don't need this anymore. I need to shelve it. I need to get rid of it. I need to throw it away. We also need to sanitize our devices as well, whether it is an all-in-one printer, laptop, cell phones. Why? Because these devices all have memory inside of them. Identity thieves are looking for devices like this. They're looking for information like this. This is what they prey on. This is why we're having this discussion now about what thieves look for, what our devices can expose us to, or these kind of thieves. Skimmers. Let's have this discussion, folks. Let's start with the image on the left here. And when you see that hand holding that green device that will fit nice and snug over the insertion point of where our debit cards or credit cards go, that device that's being held right there is a skimmer. Skimmers are devices that will capture personal information of customers, users, and send that information to a fraudulent, bad actor, character, or a thief, a criminal. So the way it works is very simple. That green device that you see right there, this the green device right here, it fits right snug over the insertion point. It will look like a non-entity. It won't even protrude. It sticks on. There's an adhesive that it sticks on there. No one ever touches that part of the machine. We just line up and put our card in. Once we do that, that green device right here will read the magnetic strip underneath the credit card. Once it reads that, it's got the information. It wirelessly sends it to a criminal. and they sell that information or they use it for fraudulent intent. Same thing when we see pay at the pump. Here we have an area which is basically legit right next to it, and you see it with that protruding piece right there. That is a fraudulent one. That is a skimmer. Our advice to the public in general is the next time you use an ATM or pay at the pump, especially when you see one that's protruding or a flat surface, just put your hand there to see if anything moves. If anything is loosened, nothing should be loosened, nothing should move. Put your hand to see if anything, I mean, don't break the machine. You know, you're tougher than you look, so, but just put your hand there just to see if anything moves. Nothing moves, you're good. Anything moves, and especially if you're at an ATM, if you're at a bank ATM, please go inside and tell the tellers. If you're at a gas station, make sure you tell someone. If you're at a standalone on the street, please call 911 for a non-police emergency. Please let someone know, hey, listen, here's what I found on an ATM. No one's been shot, no one's been stabbed. So we're not looking at an immediacy where we need to send 3, 4 cars out here and, you know, lights and sirens blazing. But you have found something. Public safety is what it's going to fall under. So that's why we're advising the public to please let the law enforcement in their area know. These things are dangerous. And so many people have been defrauded out of money and have their accounts defrauded. I know a guy in a Your Place pizzeria, I heard him talking about it one day on a Sunday, where he basically lost thousands of dollars because he used an ATM with a skimmer on it, and it was in downtown Philadelphia. I overheard the conversation. I introduced myself, showed my credentials, and then said, hey, listen, you know, just see, you know, what he had done to help recoup or put a stop to it, and which is what I'm going to talk about in a few minutes as well. Please be very careful with this. Oh, I don't know. I set this up a while ago, and this image, I don't know why I use this image. It scared the bejesus out of me when I was when the movie came out. Silence of the scams, silence of the lambs. Will you be safe? When we get pre-approved credit cards, pre-approved loans, things of that nature, should we go for this stuff? If you're going to say yes to it, fine, you fill it out. If you're not, shred it. If you got a burn barrel, go for it. I know some folks out there, and I know some folks up in Mechanicsburg and in Perry County area. When I talk to some of these guys, I don't got a shredder, but I got a burn barrel. They're burning day and night. And I'm telling them, okay, just don't burn down the forest, but go ahead and have at it. Folks, I also want to point something out here. For contact information, this QR code right here is my business card. And the way it works is very simple. You would take your phone and you will point your camera at it, and you're going to see a yellow tag appear on your phone. You're going to see my big old face and big old mug appear. That's what you're going to see. Down at the bottom, you would just simply put add to contacts and do it again. It's just a process you run through. It should say done, and my information should appear inside of your phone. It might take a few minutes for it to fully load in the phone, so just give it a few minutes, but that QR code is my business card now. Once you aim your phone at that, your camera, you should see a yellow tag, tap that yellow tag, or there should be a link, maybe like a web link, and that will take you to that business card, and that's the way I do it in a lot of cases nowadays. Since I can't physically, you can't physically, no, let me put it this way, since you can't physically reach out and grab me right now, you can grab my business card. Folks, at the bottom of the screen here, if you've got too much junk mail coming to your house, this is how you opt out of it. 1-888-5-OPT-OUT. That will opt out. That is the federal number to opt out of a series of junk mail. Now, again, it won't catch everything, but a lot of the junk mail we're getting, I should say, this helps us opt out of it. 1-888-5-OPT-OUT. I'm going to leave that up on the screen for about another 30 seconds in case folks want to write that number down. There you have it. Technology is our friend, folks. I understand a lot of folks, you might feel that different about what I just said. I've been in this industry since 1995 as a kid going to college. Technology is our friend and it is designed to assist us. The problem with it is that let's put it like this, technology is like a baseball bat. You put it in the hands of somebody like Aaron Judge from the New York Yankees, my team, and you're going to get good results. You put that same baseball bat in the hands of somebody, say like the Sopranos, and well, things can go very twisted for somebody's kneecaps. It's a tool, and again, designed to be used in a proper way. We just got individuals out there who are manipulating the system, and those are the ones who we're going after in the state of Pennsylvania. We're going to be wrapping this up in a few more minutes. I just want to go over phishing scams. If you've gotten an email or a text message from text messages from UPS, FedEx, Amazon, something in that post office, your package that was supposed to be delivered is here in our depot. Click the link below. Please delete that email. Do not click anything. If you click on that link, someone could easily remote access, take over your phone. Our phones have passwords in them. They have account information in them. They could go inside there and clean out your bank account. Emails, same thing. If you gotten an email from Amazon, Apple, what's the other one? Netflix, something like that. Facebook, your account has been closed. Your account has been charged for this, this, or this. Please, you haven't done business with them, please just delete that stuff. Do not click on anything inside of it. These are phishing scams. The entire logo scenario, the look of that has been hijacked by fraudsters. And they send these emails out to hundreds of thousands of people in an area. And then they do the math. Out of 100,000 people, we might get a response rate roughly 6,000 to 10,000. Of that 6,000 to 10,000, they'll click on this link, and then we can execute. And next thing you know, they rip off that 6,000 to 10,000 people. Please be very careful not to do that. Some tips as we close out here. Seek help as soon as the fraud is detected. If fraud happens to you the first of the month, the first day of the month, please do not wait till the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, or the 10th. Please, first, no later than the 7th. Second, you want to act. Because we want to know, and basically banks, institutions are going to want to know, when do you start to deal with this? And as regular transactions start to come through, or legitimate transactions, now they have to parse through what's legitimate and what's fraud. So that's why you want to deal with it before any new transactions get on, or any just a litany of new transactions happen. You want to make sure, hey, here's what happened. It happened yesterday. I detected this yesterday, and you go with it and so forth. Be smart on social media, not to post personal information, documents. I had to have a conversation with someone like that. She was happy as a clam that she got divorced. She was happy as a clam that things went her way. And she just posted all these documents of the divorce and how things went her way and all this. And on these documents are these official numbers and official information. And just I immediately sent her a text and said, take it out right now. And did immediately take the stuff that I know you're happy as a clam, and I know it's margarita time or something like that, but you got to be careful not to sit back and post this information. It's sensitive information. And she's putting that stuff out there on Instagram and Facebook. Very dangerous to do. Not to send information like this on social media. Never a good thing. Exercising good passwords. We should be changing our passwords every month, maximum 40 days. And that's a massive stretch. Every month, please do so. If you're using a computer that is not your own, to do some sort of system check, or do something outside you will regularly do with your regular computer, please log out of that system. I do not recommend you do any banking from a foreign system. Your home computer, your cell phone only. Friend's computer, buddy's computer, somewhere outside, it's just not a good idea. I understand this is your friend. I understand this is your relative. I understand blah, blah, blah. I get all that. And still, it is not a good idea, because you more than likely are not the only one using that computer. Other people could have access to that something could have been left open or exposed. I just don't recommend it to anybody. Sign up for account alerts. That very good thing to do. Some sort of an alert to say, hey, and guess what? I'm getting a scam call. We all get them. I just close it out. I don't even think about it anymore. But again, sign up for, hey, 2-tier password, and then it asks you a security code. Hey, what was the color of your first car? Where did you get married? What city were you born in? Mom or mom's maiden name, something like that. Those are you want to have something like that set up. Account alerts, also definitely want to have that set up where, hey, anything that's coming out of your bank account or your credit card account, please, you should know what's coming out, and you get an alert on your phone, your device, every time something comes out of it. And again, we just talked about protecting online and always looking for the lock at the top, see if that site's secure, especially if we're doing banking or ordering something online. I don't care what stalwart company it is, look to see at the top if it's secure or not. These are some low-grade measures of protecting ourselves. Privacy screens are a low measure to ensure device security. You can go to Five Below and get a privacy screen. What they basically do is, once you put that on your phone, okay, it covers your phone, you have to be looking at the device head on so that no one can shoulder surf. Look over your shoulder to look at your device. They're always going to be like, why are you looking at your screen so dark? To you, it's not, because head on, you can see it clear. But anything to the left or the right, it automatically blacks out. Those things cost $4, $5 at the most. Grab them on Amazon. They're incredible. Tablets, you can get them for tablets as well. You can get them for computers, so that if you're working on something, somebody to your left or your right, your screen blacks out. Only head on can you see it. And always be on the preventative side, but have a plan in place for when it happens, a flexible plan. It's always a good idea to do that. Securing our mailboxes, that's always a good idea nowadays. I know the days we grew up with a mailbox and, you just go out there and you pull it up. Nowadays, it's just a good idea to have a lock on that mailbox. The only person who has that lock is the mailman. Annualcreditreport.com. This is how we check our credit. Not freecreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com. You are allowed to check Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You can check those each once a year for free. Now, to be sure on this, okay, it's always a good idea if you're going to do this, because they let you check it once a year. I'd say it's a good idea just to, let me check it, every 4 months. That covers you for the entire year. Freecreditreport.com is not free. Once you get to the end of it, it is going to ask you for a credit card number. This does not. Annualcreditreport.com is much more involved than Credit Karma. Credit Karma is great. I use Credit Karma personally. Credit Karma is good, but full history, it does not give you. Full history, Credit Karma does not give you. I know a lot. What I'm doing talking to you now about this are questions that I field from hundreds of people throughout the year. Freecreditreport.com is not free. Annual Credit Report is. Credit Karma is a great way to check. Let me see my payments, my payment structure, but it does not give you a full history going back 20 years, something like that, 20, 30 years, going back 40 or 50 years. This will. If you find yourself a victim of identity theft, credit card theft, or something like that, please contact the police. The police may or may not file a report. They may tell you, okay, just contact your credit card, because they have been inundated so much with this. Okay, contact your credit card company. So depending on the nature of the identity theft, police may or may not take a report. Small towns, they're inundated by it so much they can't even afford to take give you a police report anymore. Contact the retail store, immediately closing the accounts, open new accounts with different pins. I was going to Dallas January of last year. Yeah, January 2023. December of 2022, I get a phone call from my bank. I know the guy very well, Steve. He's bank manager there. He said, Jared, can you stop through when you get a chance in Port? I said, yeah, sure. I stop over. Someone from was it Garrett, North Dakota, tried to hit my account for $1. And I thought that was so weird. I'm just like, I don't know anybody in North Dakota. Next thing you know, couldn't find out it was fraud and they were testing my account. So before I went to Dallas, he had to give me a new debit card. He had to give me new numbers. And I was like, can I keep my old numbers? He said, nah. He said, got to give you everything new, Jared. New PIN number, everything. So I said, great. But it was about 6 days before I was going to Dallas. So that saved me a big headache, actually. For more information on anything like this, contacting the Office of Attorney General, which is OAG, reported to the Federal Trade Commission and Social Security. Folks, I want to put something out there. Please listen very carefully. Identitytheft.gov. You really want to write that down. Identitytheft.gov. That is the federal government's provision for dealing with it, found under the Federal Trade Commission's website, to help restore the restoration, what to do if you are evicted. The government is in tune with this stuff. Identitytheft.gov. That's not here on the screen, but I'm darn sure I don't leave this presentation without you having that information as well. Folks, we are all done with the presentation. I want to thank all of you for listening, coming online and listening to this presentation. For so many folks out there who are listening, and again, from those generations of Eisenhower and Roosevelt, Jack Kennedy, Harry Truman, this is an era that was so much different, where you didn't have mega malls and you didn't have online anything. You had your local stores and you had your Woolworths and you had your Montgomery Wards and your Sears. You had a different life back then. Technology came along and it sped up the world sped up in a great big hurry. Our office understands this, and we understand how these thieves are going to continue to try to keep using tactics. You're not the only ones. College, they're getting hit hard. High school, they get hit hard because of naiveness. And I'll just be very blunt about it. They're naive. High schools get hard, and colleges get hit hard with this stuff. So the reason why our office loves to give our presentations like this, to be on the preventative side, how this stuff plays out and what to do about it if it happens. I see some folks in the chat here. Just want to see. Oh, okay, some folks out here.
Someone's using your name, but they have a different email for it. So I know we've received emails like that at work here. It says it's from Samantha, but if you look at the detail, it's not Samantha's email address. So they're trying to.
Yeah, that's fraud. They're trying to basically, it's the same thing what we talked about earlier, where they're basically trying to use that kind of email fraud, where they're basically using your name with a different email.
Mhm.
Let folks know that's not you. Just put that out there.
Yeah,
They
just
don't have the
don't follow.
passwords.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Samantha.
It was our pleasure.
Yeah, if anybody wants to use the chat feature, they can, but it doesn't look like we had that one comment. So if you don't want to use the chat feature, you can certainly try and unmute yourself. I do have one more that says send our info back to Jerry after clicking. Oh, I see.
Sure.
Hello,
Sure.
I
You
have
can
a
always
question.
email me.
Can I ask a
Sure.
question?
Absolutely.
Okay, a while back, I had a fraudulent charge on my Medicare and also my HOPS. which is
Okay.
supplement that I have. So I called immediately and told both entities about that, Medicare and HOPS, and explained, said that I had seen this charge for some equipment that I never ordered and never got. And is there anything else that I should do?
Besides contact those two entities, you can contact our office to make sure that they follow up on it. We're going to give you the right information, and if it crosses into a consumer protection complaint, we'll let you know. We'll let you fill out a complaint with us, and then we'll deal with them. So that's what our office does. That's the good nature of our office. In terms of this, it can also fall under consumer protection. Not everything does, but some things do, and a consumer protection agent can also deal with it too.
Okay, thank you.
No, you're very welcome.
I think Susan sent another addition to, I guess when you scan your QR code, she's saying send our info back to Jerry question
Oh,
mark, after clicking.
You can, yeah, yes, it's legit. Yeah, I like to think maybe I should go grab my badge, but I like to think, yeah, I am legit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine just went right. I tried it and it just saved to contacts but I didn't have any other information that I needed to.
Yeah, ours is, yeah, yes. It's basically a share. It's basically saying, would you like, you don't have to do that. Just take my information. I don't necessarily need yours unless you want me to have your, but it's just a good share. Yeah. The app is really good. It's your digital business card app, and it basically lets you give your digital business card out now. And I've been using this thing. I introduced it to our office, and I can tell you right now, some folks in our office literally freaked out. They didn't know you have it where you can have a metal card and you put it up to someone's phone that can do that. But again, of course, we're in a virtual environment now, so that's why I have it. And it's basically, I have it this way, so people can take that QR code on there. And let me see something here real quick. Like it's on this first screen right here, as you can see right there. I just went back up to the first screen, and I basically put it on every other screen, or I tried to put it as many screens as I could.
Yeah, it's really interesting how it works.
Yeah, you can take the QR code and you can just take it and copy it as you need it. It's your code. So as you need that QR code, you can just take and copy wherever you want.
To Joyce's chat message here, any way of being able to share these tip slides with the family. So this is being recorded and we're gonna have it on our website. So you can return tomorrow and it'll be posted up there. And if you have questions, you can certainly call into the office. We can help guide you. And I'll give our phone number here in the chat to call if you need.
All right, thank you.
71. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was saying thank you so much for that information.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, so we'll have that recording then later. So I do have a question. When you're talking about the pieces that you apply to the gas tanks or the gas stations, do you think it's
Skimmers.
more safe to use the tap feature versus sliding
Yes.
your car, a card?
If it has a tap feature, that is more safer right now.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll give everybody just a minute or less than a minute here. And if anybody has any more questions, go ahead and ask or add your chat. And so I don't see any more. So thank you very much for joining us today. It was really an honor to have you here and share all the knowledge that you have, because everything changes on a probably weekly basis for you or more.
You
So
have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Updates to come through. Yeah.
so like I said, if you have any questions, concerns, we are having this posted on our website so you can watch it again and share it with your friends and family. So that would be great. And we're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. A human being answers the the phone, not an AI person, so please call us 717-697-7077. So thank you, everybody.